Yo, what is good with you guys? This is your boy KAG, and we are back with another video, and this is after the presentation. Y'all haven't heard my impressions of what I thought about the Nintendo Switch, but today I am here to tell y'all exactly what I thought of the whole presentation and what was the goods, what was the bads, what was the terribles, you know, all that good stuff. So without any further ado, let's hop into this video. Now, the good, or should I say the great, we cannot talk about this actual presentation without talking about the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild at the very end, and the fact that it is going to be a launch day title. I think everybody pretty much seen this coming, but that trailer was on point. We kind of know where this actual game takes place in the Zelda timeline. So yeah, that's all some amazing stuff right there. And if you haven't seen the trailer, then you need to go see that trailer because it's really good, and they do have the English version up now. Moving on from there, we also had the fact that we seen Mario for the first time on the Switch. Well, second time really, but we've seen him in detail in this world. Now, when I first seen him in that city, I was like, man, Nintendo is really thinking outside of the box right here. But I didn't know right from that point that it was going to be a big, huge open world experience, which I love those type of games. And a matter of fact, in an interview with Mr. Miyamoto, he was talking about these 2D games and then, you know, all these like side platformers, you know, for the Mario games, you know, like Super Mario Run. He was like, okay, well, these games are made more for the casual. He said, well, I want to make a game that is more for the core audience that would like a core game, because if you actually take a look at what they've been doing with the Mario franchises, they've been making it easier for people to pick up and play, but this game is actually going to be catering to those hardcore Mario fans and not to the casuals. And that's what they're actually doing here with this new Mario, because if you actually take a look at like Super Mario Run or Mario Maker or Super Mario 3D World, all these games are made with the casual in mind, but this game is not. So yes, finally we're going back to the 64 style. It's gonna be amazing. Can't wait for it. When that comes out in holiday 2017, so maybe it's November, maybe it's December, it's one or the other, but I can't wait for that to come out. Now, on a side note, we also have this game ARMS. Now, when I first seen it there on, you know, and seen the actual trailer for it, I was like, it looks iffy. I mean, alright, come on, Nintendo, give us some better looking games. But then I seen it at the Treehouse Live, I was like, that's an amazing game. That's a game that I'm gonna put some hours in, you know, knocking people out, you know what I'm saying? And on top of that, for those of you who you know, a lot of people don't like motion controls. I, on the other hand, I happen to like them, and I think there's a crowd of people out there that do like motion controls, and I'm glad that this system, the Nintendo Switch, brings all their consoles together. So you got everything from NES style, Super NES, N64, GameCube, Wii, and technically Wii U, all built into this one console. And it's really good the fact that they are able to also offer those motion controls for the Wii gamers, because that's where they messed up with the Wii U, is they kind of abandoned the Wii when they moved to the Wii U, and they just gave you that gamepad and did pretty much away with the motion controls in general. But for those of you, like I was going to say, for those of you who do not want to play ARMS with the actual motion controls, you can play with a Pro controller. You can play with the controller in standard form. If you just want to go ahead and dock those controllers in the grip, you can play it just like that. And you don't have to use the motion controls. But in general, you can play this game online and two-player, you know, versus however you want to play it. But it looks really, really good once you actually see people playing the game. You actually see some gameplay of it. The commercial for it, you know, it was Japanese, right? It was kind of Japanese style. Outside of that, another highlight game for me was Snipperclips. I seen this game at first. I was like, what is this little crappy looking game, right? But then I seen them actually playing it, and I was like, that game looks like it's gonna be fun and addictive, but it is gonna require there to be 2 people there involved. I would like to see them try to implement some type of online with it, because if you could play with someone online with this game, and you have the option of voice chat, I think you could still work together on these puzzles that are on this game. But the game in general looks really, really good, and I hope we get a sequel to it, because it looks like a game that I would want a sequel to, as well as ARMS. So we have those as the new highlights, and also we have a couple old returners. We have Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which looks good. It looks really good, and when you see it on the actual handheld device, it looks even better. It looks really crisp, really HD, really clear. Nintendo really went and put a very good screen in the Switch. Regardless of whether or not it was 1080p, this 720p screen, this IPS display, is very vibrant. It's very saturated colors. It looks really, really good. It looks very bright as well. So yeah, screen on point. I was expecting, let me be honest with you, I was expecting a mediocre screen, because if you take a look at like the 3DS and you take a look at the Wii U, both of those screens are like, I'm not sure I want to play entirely a whole game on that display. But when you actually see it on the Switch display, that Switch display looks really, really good. It's really, really clear. It's really, really just bright. So yeah, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, even though so far from what we know, it does not have any new tracks on it, but it does have a new battle mode, which is much better, and is what they should have done in the beginning. We also have the addition of Splatoon characters, which looks great, and the Splatoon stage. It has to be a stage, right? Or is it just one track, right? I don't know. But you see Splatoon Inc. on one of the tracks. I'm not sure if it's just entirely in battle mode or not. But anyways, it looks interesting. It looks really good. I probably still will pick that up, just so I can have Mario Kart on the go. Splatoon 2. It is not a remake of the first one. They actually added additional weapons. They added additional motions. It looks really good. The only thing is, I think they could have did the actual controller a little bit better when it came to selecting where you spawn at, because I think they could have just gave each character like A, B, X, or Y, and then you just press A if you want to go to A. If you want to go to X, you press X. I think that would have been a better way to do that. But in general, it's just a small gripe of mine. But it looks really, really good, and I will be picking that up because I do love Splatoon. As a side note, we also had Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which was shown off. Looks really good. Looks really, really good, and I can't wait to play that. But the only thing is, will it really make 2017? How long has it been in development? That's the question right there. How long has this game been in development? Because it's very difficult for me to see that it will reach 2017 and not fall over into next year. But prove me wrong, Nintendo. Bring me that Xenoblade. I would love to be able to play that right after I play, Zelda and a few other titles. But in general, everything was not revealed at the actual Switch presentation, which I think was a bad part on Nintendo's side, because I think they should have actually revealed a lot more. The whole Japanese style of the conference was kind of cringy. I've seen better. I've seen way better. This was actually almost on the side of very cringy, very kind of terrible. But they had some saving graces in there, which was, Nintendo's main franchises. And as far as EA goes, they showed up with that one FIFA game and didn't even have like any gameplay of it. I was like, what is this? EA, you might as well not even show it up. You could have stayed at home if you were gonna bring that. But in general, I think the Switch presentation went over fine. The price, 300, a little higher than we were expecting. You know, I was saying it was going to be 250, but 300 is okay with me. That is fine with what it does, because that means I do not have to buy a console and a handheld anymore. I can have this one device and play all my games on it, so that should be fine. And the fact that this thing actually looks like it's in quality. It looks like it has a good quality build, and from everybody I've heard, they say it all has a good quality build on the system, as well as the fact that the games, you know, they still play on your TV and play on the go, so you can't complain there. Pro controller price, $70. It's a little high. Let's be real here. It's a little high, but when you take a look at the Xbox Elite controller, that's a high controller. That's an expensive controller right there. So I'm not exactly sure, but in general, I will be picking up that Pro controller regardless, because everybody says it's extremely comfortable. And if I can somehow manage to get my hands on the Switch before the actual release, I will go ahead and I will try it out and let y'all know what I think about it. If y'all are wondering if I pre-ordered it, I did. Y'all already knew that was happening, because I'm actually going to be starting my live streams, and we're going to be doing it on the Nintendo Switch. And I got the red and blue version, so yeah, I'll let y'all get an unboxing of that right before I do the live stream. I may be doing a 24-hour stream. That's the plans anyways, but the games are a little lacking right now, so I'm not sure if we're gonna do a full 24 hours, because we're not gonna have that much to play, y'all. Bomberman didn't look like anything I really want to pick up. It looked kind of blurry, but hopefully maybe they'll fix that before it actually gets released. And we need a couple racing games. But anyways, let me know what y'all thought about the presentation in general down there in the comment section below. Let me know what y'all actually think of the price as well. Do you think it is something you're going to be pre-ordering? And if you haven't pre-ordered it, then more than likely you're not going to get it. But let me know if you pre-ordered it. And yeah, hopefully we'll be playing online with each other very soon. And the release date, I didn't even talk about that. March 3rd. That is going to be really, really earlier than I expected. So yeah, I gotta hurry up, save up some money for that Switch. That way I can make sure I have everything paid off by then. But anyways, I'm out of here. Peace.